You look back to the 2020 schedule for Mississippi State, and it really wasn't too bad for an all-SEC schedule. Yes, they had to play Georgia out of the East, but they also got to play Vanderbilt, and they avoided playing Florida. So, it could have been worse, but it wasn't a horrible schedule. Everyone else in the SEC East was kind of in the middle, outside of Georgia and Florida there at the top, and, of course, Vandy at the bottom. But it was an all-SEC schedule, and it was pretty tough. We're going to see what this 2021 schedule looks like, and you can see right away two tough non-conference games, NC State and Memphis. And before we go game by game, let's look first at those non-conference games and the games outside of the division. So outside of the SEC West, they will play Louisiana Tech, NC State, on the road at Memphis, and then Tennessee State. That's not a horrible draw. I mean, you're not playing any top 10, top 15 teams, but NC State and Memphis, both games that Mississippi State could lose. So that's a pretty tough non-conference schedule. And then you look at who they play outside of their division. They get to play Vanderbilt. That's the good news. And they'll play Kentucky. They actually play Kentucky every year. That's a really good draw. No Georgia, no Florida, no Missouri. Kentucky might be the third or fourth best team in the East. I think they will be third or fourth, but they might be the second best team potentially. I mean, it's hard to say with Kentucky, and we don't know how good Florida and Missouri are going to be, but it's not Georgia, and that's the good news. So I think this is a very nice draw, getting Vanderbilt and Kentucky in the SEC East. So they begin the year off on September the 4th. They'll play Louisiana Tech at home, then NC State at home September 11th, and Memphis on the road September 18th. I'm telling you, those two games back-to-back, NC State and Memphis, going to be very tough for this Mississippi State team. If they can win both of those, look out. It could be a very, very good year for the Bulldogs. On September 25th, they will play LSU at home. Remember what happened last year. LSU, I think, will be a little bit better prepared this time, but I think that it's a game that Mississippi State will have a chance in for sure. Then we go into the month of October. They'll go on the road. How about this stretch right here? I know they get a bye week between A&M and Alabama, but look at LSU at Alabama, or at Texas A&M, I should say, and then Alabama. Those three games in a row. You're playing the three best teams in your division all in a row. Yes, there's a bye week, but I don't really think the bye week's going to do them much good before playing Alabama. Very tough stretch there. And then, again, you can even go before that and look at NC State and Memphis. Those 5 games in a row are going to be very difficult. But the rest of the schedule gives Mississippi State a chance. That's why I say if they can beat NC State and Memphis, even if they lose those next 3 games, they're going to have a really good chance down the stretch. On October 23rd, they'll play on the road at Vanderbilt, a game where they're going to be favored. Then Kentucky on October the 30th. 2 games there that if this team's on the border of maybe being a bowl team, maybe not being a bowl team, those 2 games are going to be big. You really need to win those 2 games. Or looking at the next one against Arkansas, maybe 2 of those 3 games. They will play Arkansas on the road November the 6th, and then it's Auburn on the road November 13th. So back-to-back road games there. Key games in the division. They will get Tennessee State on November 20th. Should be an easy win there. And then they'll finish things out with Ole Miss on the last Saturday of the season. They're not playing on Thanksgiving this year. That is very disappointing to me. I always love watching the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving, but they'll be playing on Saturday this year instead of on Thanksgiving Day. So this is the schedule for Mississippi State. Again, what jumps out to me is a tough non-conference schedule, but a schedule against the SEC East that I really like if I'm a Mississippi State fan, and a schedule that really gives them a chance down the stretch, like I said, from Vanderbilt to Ole Miss. Those are all games that Mississippi State will have a chance to win. Will they win them all? Probably not, but they'll have a chance. So you got really the hardest part of the schedule is in that first half, from NC State to Alabama, and especially when we talk about LSU to Alabama. Those 3 games. I don't know if a team in college football will have a tougher 3-game stretch than that right there. LSU, A&M, Alabama, all 3 of those teams probably going to be top 10 teams, or at least very close to it. Again, it's not 3 weeks in a row, but 3 games in a row with those right there. That's going to be very tough. And overall, I think the Mississippi State schedule, though, sets up in a way where they could have a pretty successful season. They're going to have to just win a lot of these close games when they play teams that are, a lot of teams in the SEC, I think, are going to be in that same category with Mississippi State. And we're talking about Kentucky, Arkansas, Auburn, Ole Miss. Vanderbilt's a winnable game. and even NC State and Memphis. Those are comparable non-conference games. So again, a lot of games that will probably be close. It's probably going to be a very entertaining year for Mississippi State fans in 2021.